All right. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our reading of the 1990 classic movie Home Alone, directed by Chris Columbus, written by John Hughes, the late John Hughes, the late great John Hughes. We have an amazing cast here tonight. Playing our Kevin Mcallister, we have Mr. Jeremy. There he is. Playing the diabolical Harry Lime, which is a great name. We have Logan. Playing his partner in crime, Marv Merchants, another great name. We have Eric. Playing a bunch of people, including Kevin's awful brother, Buzz, and also Gus Polinski, John Candy in the movie, and also Old Man Marley. We have Curtis with an amazing shirt. Playing Kevin's mom, who is kind of a bad mom, but also a good mom eventually. We have Anne. Playing Kevin's dad, Peter Mcallister, who's just kind of like, you know, the sane parent, I guess, but also kind of, you know, the voice of reason. We have Travis. Playing a bunch of McAllisters, including Aunt Leslie and some of the cousins and sisters of Kevin and cousins and such. We have Kate.
Woo.
Woo. Playing a bunch of people, including the pizza guy, probably the most important role in the movie. We have Rudy with his amazing new facial hair. Playing Johnny the mobster, the, you know, keep the change, you filthy animal, as well as a few other people. We have Jack, his cool Grinch shirt. And then, of course, last but not least, playing the worst uncle in the world, Uncle Frank. And also a couple other people. We have Paul. And then, yay. And then I'll be doing the scene description. So we're going to go ahead and get started here. All right. Home Alone by John Hughes. Exterior house, evening. A big old 3-story brick house in a small Chicago suburb. 3 days before Christmas. There are lights and Christmas decorations on the house and the surrounding houses. Interior house, foyer night. A uniformed police officer is standing here, middle-aged, paunchy. He's standing alone, trying to catch the attention of passing adults and children who cross the foyer, go up and down the stairs, and in and out of the house carrying clothing, luggage, toiletries, and wrapped Christmas gifts.
Excuse me, Matt. Is your mother home?
Interior master bedroom, night. Kate Mcallister is talking on the phone and packing a suitcase. She's handsome and energetic in her early 40s, still dressed from work.
I don't want any calls. I'm not going to France so I can spend the holidays on the phone.
Kevin Mcallister enters. He's 7.
Wow, Uncle Frank won't let me watch the movie, but the kids can. Why can't I?
Kevin, I'm on the phone.
It's not even an R. He's just being a jerk.
Excuse me. If Uncle Frank says no, I say no.
Flops down on the bed.
Get off there. I'm sorry, say that again? Get out of here.
Hang up the phone and make me, why don't you?
Her husband, Peter, comes out of the bathroom with his electric razor. He's 40, good-looking, and easygoing.
Kate, where's the voltage adapter thing?
I didn't have time to pick one up.
How am I going to shave?
Dad, nobody will let me do anything.
I'll let you do something. Pick your micro machines. Aunt Leslie stepped on one and almost fell down.
And he was in the garage again, playing with the glue gun.
What have I told you about that?
Did I burn down the joint? I don't think so. I was making ornaments out of fish hooks.
My good fish hooks?
You can't make ornaments out of the old ones with the dried worm guts stuck on them.
A woman, Leslie Mcallister, comes into the room. She's in her late 30s. She's a bit chunky, extreme in her dress and coiffure. She's Peter and Kate's sister-in-law.
There's a policeman downstairs.
What's he want?
Aunt Leslie, how come Uncle Frank won't let me?
In a minute, Kevin. I have no idea.
I'm sick of everybody saying, in a minute.
Kevin, do you have a voltage adapter?
That's just what I was going to ask you.
Interior foyer night. The police officer is still waiting. Tracy Mcallister crosses through the dining room into the foyer. She's 14, very pretty, but dressed a little cheap.
Pardon me. Are your parents home?
Yeah, but they don't live here.
He heads up the stairs as Heather Mcallister comes down the stairs. She's 19 and a cousin. She's wearing a Northwestern University sweatshirt.
Did you call for the pizzas?
Buzz did. My dad said an American hairdryer won't work in France. Is that true?
You need a voltage adapter.
What's that?
Ask your mom.
Tracy heads upstairs. The cop catches Heather's attention.
Excuse me. Are your parents here?
My parents live in Paris. Sorry.
She exits into the dining room as Sandra Mcallister enters the foyer. She's 11.
Bonjour.
Wrong. That's good day.
Hi. Are your parents home?
Yeah.
Do we live here?
No.
Exterior house, night. A Little Nero's pizza delivery car, a red Ford Geo with a cartoon rendering of a Roman holding a pizza, and the slogan, "No fiddling around, pizza in 30 minutes or less," painted on the side and on the lighted roof sign, whips into the driveway and skids to a stop. Interior house, upstairs hallway, night. Kevin and Jeff Mcallister come out of their bedroom. Jeff's Kevin's 9-year-old brother. He's lugging a large canvas duffel bag. He's stocky and built, aggressive and confident.
I don't know how to pack a suitcase. I've never done it once in my whole life.
Tough.
That's what Megan said.
Megan Mcallister comes out of her room into the hall. She's 15, aloof, regal, vain, self-absorbed.
What did I say?
You told Kevin tough.
The dope was whining about a suitcase. What am I supposed to do? Shake his hand and say, "Congratulations, you're an idiot"?
I'm not an idiot.
Oh, really? You're completely helpless. Everybody has to do everything for you.
She's right, Kev.
Megan heads down the hall to the stairs and bounces down.
Excuse me, puke breath. I never packed a suitcase.
Lenny Mcallister walks out of her room. She's 12, perfectly beautiful.
I hope you didn't just pack crap, Jeff.
Shut up, Lenny.
Do you know what I should pack?
Buzz told you, cheek face, toilet paper and water.
Jeff continues to the stairs. Kevin hangs back with Lenny.
What are you worried about? Mom's gonna pack your stuff anyway. You're what the French call les incompetents.
Lenny turns on her heels and goes into her room.
Yes, you have to sleep on the hide-a-bed with Fuller, and he still wets the bed.
What happened to my room?
Heather, Tracy, and Sandra took it.
This house is so full of people it makes me sick. When I grow up and get married, I'm living alone.
He stomps away. Lenny laughs. Interior hallway, stairs / foyer. Jeff slings the duffel down the stairs.
Bombs away!
Close up on the police officer. He looks down at his feet and the bag that's just landed. He looks up. Interior Buzz's bedroom, night. Buzz Mcallister and Rod Mcallister are in Buzz's room. Buzz is packing his suitcase. He's stocky and muscular, a jock with a 3-inch waxed flat top. Rod is thin and lanky, dull and bookish. Rod is looking at Buzz's tarantula.
Who's gonna feed your spider while you're gone?
He just ate a shitload of mice guts. He's good for a couple weeks. You sure that French babes don't shave their tits?
Some don't.
And he got new features, right?
Not in the winter.
Kevin opens the door and walks in.
Buzz!
Buzz turns angrily to him.
Don't you know how to knock dick, Rash?
Can I sleep in your room? I don't want to sleep in the family room.
I wouldn't let you sleep in my room if you were growing on my ass.
Buzz notices something out the window. He moves to the window and points it out to Rod.
Check it out, old man Marley.
Close up on Kevin, the mention of Marley's name gives Kevin pause. On the room window, Buzz and Rod peer through the window. From Buzz's POV, we see Marley, a grizzled old fellow with a mangy Howard Hughes white hair and beard, shuffling out to his mailbox in a bathrobe and boots. He gets his mail, hurriedly running back into the house. Back to the scene, night.
Who's he?
Ever heard of the South Bend Shovel Slayer?
No.
That's him. Back in '58, murdered his whole family and half the people on his block with a snow shovel. Been hiding out in our neighborhood ever since.
If he's a slayer, how come the cops don't arrest him?
They got no proof. Everybody around here knows he did it. That's why he only comes out once a day. Get his mail, his groceries, and everything else gets delivered. He lives by himself. Never says a word to anybody.
Wow.
I keep watching that show, America's Most Wanted. I know it's got to be on it someday. Then I'm going to call that 900 number, turn his ass into the authorities, make $1 trillion.
He turns to Kevin and stalks him to the door.
And don't get out of my room. I'm going to tie you to his front porch and ring the doorbell till he comes out.
Kevin backs out of the room scared. Buzz slams the door in his face. He turns to Rod with a grin.
America when he has the balls of a butterfly.
Interior foyer night. The pizza boy nervously offers his stack of pizza boxes to the police officer.
$122.50, sir.
I don't live here.
Just here for the holidays.
Interior hallway night. Frank Mcallister comes out of the bathroom with a Michelin guide under his arm. He's Peter's brother, a bit younger, bulky and balding in department store casual clothes. Kevin comes out of Buzz's room. Frank gives him an affectionate, if a bit too hard, pat on the head with his Michelin guide.
Parlez-vous français yet, Squirt?
Kevin gives him a chilly look.
My name's Kevin.
Yeah? You know what they're gonna call you in France, don't you?
What?
Frank reaches around behind him, grabs the waist of his pants, and gives him a sharp pull.
Yank!
He snorts and continues down the hall. Kevin glowers at him. Interior foyer night. Close-up police officer and pizza boy. They're staring down. Their POV. Fuller and Brooke Mcallister are staring back up at them. Fuller is 5 and wearing glasses. Brooke is 8 and she's wearing glasses as well. The pizza boy leans over to Brooke and Fuller.
You dinks are my witnesses. I was here in 30 minutes or less.
Frank comes down the stairs.
Pizza's here!
He takes the pizzas from the boy.
$122.50?
My brother will get it. This is his house.
He exits with the pizzas. A stream of kids run down the stairs and cross into the dining room to the kitchen. Aunt Leslie follows.
Are you Mrs. Mcallister?
Yes, but I'm not the Mrs. Mcallister that lives here.
He exits into the dining room.
Use paper plates, Frank, and don't give Fuller any Coke.
Peter comes down. The cop points.
Excuse me. Are you the Mr. McAllister who lives here?
Yes. Good, because somebody owes me $122.50.
I need a word with you, sir.
My wife's coming right down. She'll take care of both of you. Excuse me.
Peter exits. The cop and the boy exchange confused looks. Interior kitchen night. It's a pizza orgy. The boxes are spread across the counters and table. Everybody's talking at once, grabbing pizza, opening and closing the refrigerator, drawers, and cupboards.
Take napkins and get your own drinks.
What time do we have to go to bed?
Early. We're leaving the house at 8 a.m. On the button.
Kate comes down the back stairs into the kitchen.
Everybody have milk? I have to get rid of it.
Mom, does Santa have to go through customs?
Honey, the pizza kid needs $122.50.
For pizza?
Kate crosses to the counter, opens her purse, and takes out an envelope of travel money.
10 pizzas times $12.
Frank, you've got money, don't you?
Traveler's checks.
We have it.
Kevin sifts through the pizza boxes.
Anybody order me plain cheese?
Buzz, his mouth packed with pizza, looks at Kevin.
Yeah, but if you want any, someone's gonna have to bark theirs up because it's gone.
Kevin glares at Buzz, who smiles sadistically and begins to feign a barf. Kevin charges Buzz, knocking the loaded plate of pizza from his hands and ramming him into the counter, knocking over a half-gallon carton of milk. Close up on the passports, a stack of 15 passports dosed with milk. Back to the scene. Kate grabs Kevin. Peter lunges from his seat, knocking the table, spilling a glass of milk.
The passports.
Frank shoves his chair back to avoid the river of milk heading his way.
Look out!
He pins Fuller between the wall and the back of his chair.
Yeah!
Frank!
Get a napkin.
Kate pulls Kevin off of Buzz. Peter rescues the passports and tickets.
What's the matter with you?
She gives him a violent shake.
He started it. He ate my pizza on purpose. He knows I hate sausage and olives and onions.
You get upstairs right this instant.
Why?
Kevin, you're such a disease.
Shut up.
Get upstairs.
Say goodnight, Kevin.
Good night, Kevin. Kate yanks him out of the kitchen. Peter holds the drenched passports and tickets over the sink. Interior foyer night. The cop and the pizza boy are still waiting. They look to the dining room as Kate drags a struggling Kevin through.
Why do I always get treated like scum?
Ma'am?
He hands the pizza boy his money.
I'm sorry, we're going out of town tomorrow and it's just crazy around here. My husband's brother transferred to Paris during the summer and his daughter chose to go to college or goes to college here and his son is finishing high school and staying with my brother-in-law.
Kate gives the last of the cash to the pizza boy.
Nice tip. Thank you. Have a very merry.
You too.
He exits. Kate continues explaining to the cop.
So, as a Christmas present, my husband's brother gave us all a trip to Paris so we can all be together for the holidays. My brother-in-law drove in from Ohio today. We all leave for Paris in the morning. And we have a house full of people here, and this one's a little out of sorts. Give me a minute, and I'll be right with you.
Fine.
He marches Kevin up the stairs. Close up on Kevin, he looks back at the police officer. From Kevin's POV, moving away from the police officer who smiles and winks, the cop's upper right incisor is gold. Interior house, upstairs hallway, night. Kate and Kevin round the landing and come up into the hallway.
There are 15 people in this house, and you are the only one who has to make trouble.
I'm the only one getting dumped on.
You're the only one acting up. Now get upstairs.
I am upstairs, dummy.
Kate resists the urge to belt him. He reaches up, pulls open the door at the end of the hall, a stairwell to the 3rd floor.
The 3rd floor?
Solemn, distant church bells toll. Kevin's tough little face droops. 3rd floor is parent for hell. Kate knows she has the upper hand.
Go.
It's scary up there.
You should have thought about that before you lost your temper.
Sorry.
It's too late. Go.
Kevin realizes the softer approach won't work.
Everybody in this family hates me.
Then maybe you should ask Santa Claus for a new family.
He steps onto the first stair.
I don't want a new family. I don't want any family. Families suck.
You stay up there, and I don't want to see you for the rest of the night.
I don't want to ever see you again for the rest of my whole life, and I don't want to see anybody else either.
I hope you don't mean that. You'd feel pretty sad if you woke up tomorrow and we're all gone.
Kevin has shocked himself, but he doesn't give in, as much to save face as he can continue the battle.
No, I wouldn't.
A long, hurt stare is on Kate's face.
Say it again, then. Maybe it'll happen.
She closes the door. Interior stairwell, night. Kevin's furious that Kate closed the door on him, that he lost.
I hope I never see any of you jerks again.
Hearing himself, he realizes how wicked and horrible it sounds. He feels immediate remorse. Interior upstairs hallway, foyer, night. Kate is hurt, but dismisses it as temper. She turns and heads down the stairs. She slows and stops as she looks down to the foyer. From her POV, we see that the police officer is gone. Close up on Kate, a curious look. Why did he leave? She shrugs it off and continues down. Interior stairwell, night, 3rd floor, close up Kevin. He slowly walks up the stairs. He's worried and frightened. Has he gone too far? Exterior house, night. The lights are out. A strong wind is blowing. Trees sway. Christmas decorations blow over. A plastic Santa tumbles across the lawn. A large limb snaps. It falls across the power and phone lines, bringing them down in a shower of sparks. Close-up alarm clock, night. In Peter and Kate's room, the digital light goes out. Exterior house, morning. 2 blue and yellow airport minivans are parked in the driveway. 2 uniformed drivers are on the porch. One is hammering on the door. The other steps back from the house, trying to see if there's anyone inside. A power company truck is parked in the street. A lineman is repairing the wire. Interior Mcallister house, master bedroom, morning. Peter and Kate are still sleeping. We hear the doorbell and the pounding. Kate stirs, confused. She sits up, looks at the clock. It takes a moment for her to realize that it's not working. She quickly looks at her wristwatch on the nightstand, and seeing the real time, Kate panics.
Peter!
Interior house, foyer, morning. Parents and kids clamber down the stairs.
Where are the passports?
You have them.
I have them.
Ours!
You know what they're going to call you in France, Pete?
Exterior house, morning. The 2 drivers who load a suitcase and duffel bags into the 2 minivans. A neighbor boy is watching them. He's Kevin's age.
You guys going out of town?
Interior foyer, morning. Kate and Peter, Aunt Leslie and Uncle Frank are making a last-minute check of money and passports and tickets. Peter's adjusting his trousers.
Peter, you have the tickets.
Yes.
Count them.
Peter counts.
Frank, you have the money?
Son of a bitch.
You left it upstairs?
No, I'm wearing a dirty shirt.
Exterior house, morning. Heather wearily goes through her head count, including the neighbor boy who is turned away looking into the van.
6, 7, 8.
93, 600, 11 trillion.
9. Buzz, don't be a moron. 10, 11. Get in. Half in here, half in the front one.
She shuffles to the van pulled first into the drive and gets in. The older girls follow her. The boys and the little girls get into the other van. The kids are tired and groggy. Close up on the neighbor boy. He wishes the kids a good trip.
Have a good trip. Bring me something French.
Exterior front porch, morning. The parents come out. Peter locks the door. Leslie and Kate hurry to the first van. Frank hangs back with Peter.
Oh, no way on earth we're gonna make that plane. It leaves in 45 minutes.
Think positive.
You be positive. I'll be realistic.
They move towards the vans. Exterior porch, morning. The electric company lineman approaches them.
Okay. Power's fixed. Phone lines were tore up real bad, though it's going to take Mobile a couple of days to make a house call, especially around the holidays.
Excuse me, I've got to catch a plane.
Lyman shrugs. Kate and Leslie hurry to the first van. Peter and Uncle Frank get inside the other van. Inside the van, Kate turns to Heather, her head against the window and eyes closed.
Heather, you counted heads?
11, including me. 5 boys, 6 girls, 4 parents, 2 drivers, and a partridge in a pear tree.
Exterior House Street, morning. The 2 vans zip out of the drive and speed off down the street. Interior O'Hare Airport concourse. The 2 frenzied families run down the corridor. Interior departure area. The Air France flight has boarded. A counterperson exits the ramp and secures the door. The Mcallister horde thunders into the departure area.
Oh, did the plane leave?
The counterperson glances around the board to the windows and sees the plane is still in place.
No, you just made it.
He hurriedly takes all the tickets, counting them quickly.
4 in first class, 11 in coach.
Right.
Single seats only in coach. Take whatever's free.
The families storm into the tunnel as a group. Interior plane, first class. Kate and Peter move to their section. The kids hurry through the curtain to the back of the plane.
We made it.
I hope we didn't forget anything.
Interior house, upstairs hallway, 3rd floor door. It's closed. A long beat. The door opens. Kevin pokes his head out. Exterior airport. An Air France 747 takes off in a thundering roar. Interior hallway of the house, morning. Off-screen, a toilet flushes. Kevin exits the bathroom, heads down the hall to the stairs. He's yawning and scratching his rump. Interior foyer. Kevin comes down the stairs, still unaware that he's alone. Interior kitchen. Kevin walks in, turns on the TV, and sits down at the kitchen table. He waits for his breakfast to be served. Kevin sits hunched over, chin resting on his hands, his eyelids slung low, his hair twisted and twirled from sleep. He sits for a long beat before looking to the side. Kevin's POV. Sink, stove, counter, no people. Something is starting to bother Kevin. He slowly sits up. He turns, looking around beside him. Kevin's POV. The dining room table and chairs, but no people. Kevin turns back. He slides off the chair and walks to the TV. He turns it off and listens.
Mom?
Interior 747 first class. Kate and Peter are having breakfast. Frank and Leslie are across the aisle from them.
Do you feel like a heel flying first class while the kids fly coach?
When I was a kid, we didn't even fly coach. We flew station wagon. And it wasn't to France. They're fine.
Do you know how strange it's going to be to come home from a vacation to a house where the beds haven't been made?
Interior master bedroom, morning. The bed is unmade. Kevin enters the room.
Yeah.
He walks towards the master bath. Kevin peeks into the shower, looks into the linen closet.
Where are you guys?
Interior Buzz's room, morning. Close-up tarantula aquarium. Through the glass, past the tarantula, we see Kevin step into the room. Kevin scans the room.
Buzz?
His POV. Buzz's messy room is dominated by sports and muscle heroes. There's a row of sports figurines on one shelf. Interior basement. He opens the door and looks into the basement.
Is this a joke? Megan, Rod, Uncle Frank. Uncle Frank, is this a joke?
His POV. Moving from one side to the other past the accumulated rubbish of a couple of generations. Boxes, old furnishings, lamps, discarded toys, a huge old boiler with wrapped pipes that look like tentacles reaching into the floor and the house above, a pair of naked store mannequins, a workbench loaded with old tools, jars of nails and paint cans, and finally, a collection of a dozen old tattered marionettes hanging from the rafters by their strings. It's an altogether unsettling place for a lonely young boy. Close up on Kevin, he gulps at the mass of potentially scary material. Interior house basement stairs. Kevin charges up the stairs as fast as he can and slams the door. Exterior house porch. Kevin unlocks the door and peeks out into the yard. From his POV, we see the garage door is open. A Ford wagon and a Ford Taurus are parked in the garage. Close up on Kevin, a look of deep concern.
The cars are still here. They didn't go to the airport. Oh no, what did I do?
He goes back inside. Interior kitchen. Kevin leans on the counter to sort things out in his mind. Something occurs to him. He slowly looks down at the counter and recoils. The coffee maker is still on, a full pot. Kevin is in horror as he comes to a chilling conclusion.
I made my family disappear.
Exterior sky. The Air France 747 drifts away from camera. Exterior street. A dirty, salt-stained Ford van drives slowly down the street. Painted on the side of the van is OK Heating and Plumbing. Interior van. 2 men in the van. The one driving we recognize as the police officer from the night before. He's no longer in uniform. His name is Harry Lime. His partner, Marvin Merchant, sits beside Harry. Marvin is in his late 30s, a police blotter perfect crook. Thin, bad skin, heavy brow, circles under his deep-set eyes, tattoos in the back of his hands. These two are obvious burglars.
5 families gone on 1 block alone, and they told me from their own mouths. Almost too easy.
Remember the old days, Marv, when everybody stayed home for the holidays?
Now it's off to Hawaii, Aspen, Paris, whatever happened to just sitting around the fireplace with your family, roasting chestnuts, singing Christmas carols.
People have become too cynical, too jaded. Just another sign of the ongoing moral decay of contemporary society.
Yeah. So which house we can hit first?
Interior Mcallister house foyer. Kevin yells at the top of his voice.
Somebody! Anybody! I'm starving!
Exterior street. Harry and Marv's van pulls deep into the neighbor driveway. Camera swings back to reveal the Mcallister house a few doors down. Interior kitchen. Kevin's in the kitchen, standing before the open refrigerator.
I don't remember the food groups.
Interior neighbor's house basement. A cellar door bursts open. Harry and Marv enter. Interior family room, day. Close-up television set. A Mcallister family video is playing. The image is a handheld shot of a Busch Gardens brochure. Camera zooms back to reveal that Megan is holding the brochure. She's wearing a nightgown. The drapes are drawn. Kevin is in his pajamas. We hear Peter narrating.
We're here in our luxurious hotel at Busch Gardens in Tampa Bay, Florida.
Interior kitchen, close-up on ice cream carton. A half-gallon container sits on the counter, dripping. A sticky ice cream-covered serving spoon rests on the counter beside the container. Interior family room, close-up Kevin. He's sitting in his father's chair in the family room watching the videotape. He's eating a huge bowl of ice cream. Between bites, he dips Cheetos into the ice cream. He's also drinking a Pepsi. Close-up television. Kevin is now standing next to Megan. He slips on an elephant mask with a rubber trunk. Buzz steps into frame. He's in shorts with no shirt.
Our first guest is Kevin, the elephant boy Mcallister.
Hold on, Dad. Elephants don't wear.
Buzz slaps his hands to Kevin's hips and yanks on his pajama bottoms.
Pajamas.
Kevin swings at him and catches Megan in the belly.
Oof, you little bastard.
Cut it out.
The camera swings down and goes off. It goes back on with Kevin yelling and screaming to Peter.
This is the worst vacation of my life. How would you like to have somebody pull your pants down in front of female relatives with big mouths, huh?
Kate rushes into frame and speaks to the camera.
Buzz, turn that damn thing off. Get in the other room.
Buzz pantsed me.
I don't care what Buzz did. Nobody in this family hits anybody.
Why am I always the one who gets in trouble? I should never have come here with your stupid children.
Maybe you'd like to spend this vacation by yourself.
Fine.
We ought to just leave you and teach you a lesson. Buzz, shut that thing off.
Close up on Kevin. He points the remote at the TV. Close up on the TV. The tape rewinds, stops, and starts again.
Fine.
We ought to just leave you and teach you a lesson.
The frame freezes. Close up on Kevin. A little grin sneaks across his lips. Close up on Kevin again. He bounces in and out of frame. Interior Megan's bedroom. Kevin's jumping on the bed as he eats microwave popcorn. Close up on a Playboy magazine, a stack of Playboys. Interior Buzz's bedroom. Kevin has gone through Buzz's room and discovered his secret suitcase. He's looking through a Playboy. It's not so great.
No clothes on anybody. It's sickening.
He flips it aside, reaches into the trunk, and comes up with a package of firecrackers.
Cool.
He reaches into it again and comes up with a handful of candy.
I'll save this for later. Buzz, I'm going through all your private stuff. You better come out and pound me.
He pulls out a 4x6 school photo of a girl.
Buzz, your girlfriend. Woof.
Interior hallway. Kevin comes out of Buzz's room with a stack of sports figurines. He crosses to the laundry chute and opens the door.
We'll just store these.
He dumps the sports figurines down the chute. He listens as they clang and bang down to the basement.
In the basement.
He heads down the stairs. Interior kitchen bay close-up ice cream carton. A half-gallon container sits on the counter dripping. A sticky ice cream-covered spoon protrudes from the container. Close-up on the VCR. A movie is playing. We hear the dialogue.
Who is it?
It's me, Winston. I got the stuff.
Leave it on the doorstep and get the hell out of here.
All right, Johnny. Well, what about my money?
Close up on the TV, an action film is now playing. A door opens and a burly, scar-faced mobster looks out.
What money?
A thin, ashen-faced young man cowers to the sight of the mobster.
He said you had some dough for me.
That's a fact. How much do I owe you?
Interior family room. Kevin is sitting in his father's chair watching the videotape. He's eating another huge bowl of ice cream. He's drinking a Pepsi.
Guys, I'm watching an R-rated movie. You better stop me.
AC said 10%.
Too bad AC ain't in charge no more.
What do you mean?
He's upstairs, taking a bath. He'll call you when he gets out.
Close up on the TV, the young man rears back in horror. He knows that AC is dead. The mobster leans in close and ugly.
I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you to the count of 10 to get your ugly, yellow, no good ass off my property before I pump your guts full of lead.
All right, Johnny, I'm sorry. I'm going.
1, 2, 10.
Mobster lifts a machine gun into frame and opens fire. Kevin's eyes are open wide, filled with horror. The gunfire ends.
Keep the change, you filthy animal.
Kevin grabs the remote control and stops the movie to avoid seeing the bloody carcass.
Mom!
Close up Kate, first class section, night. She's sleeping against Peter's shoulder. Suddenly her eyes pop out. She sits up. Camera pulls back. A movie plays in the cabin. The plane shades are drawn. Passengers are watching and chuckling. Peter lowers his book and looks at Kate. She's in the first stages of a full panic. She opens her purse.
What's the matter?
Rummages through the purse, comes up with passports and money.
Honey.
I have a terrible feeling.
About what?
That we didn't do something.
It's just that we left in a hurry. We took care of everything.
I turned off the coffee.
I did.
You locked up.
Peter nods in the affirmative. Her thoughts are coalescing, taking a disturbing form.
Put the timers on the lights?
Yep.
Peter starts to worry that they've forgotten something important.
I closed the garage.
Kate nods slowly.
You put the answering machine on?
Peter thinks, that's the one.
No, that's it. I forgot to put on the machine.
God, that's not it.
Thinks. Peter thinks.
I don't know. What else could we be forgetting?
She stares into his eyes. It suddenly occurs to Kate what's troubling her. She grabs Peter's arm. She screams.
Kevin!
Her cry coincides with a funny moment in the airplane movie and is covered by the passengers' laughter. Interior house foyer stairs, dusk. Kevin is at the top of the stairs on his saucer sled. He pushes off, flies down the stairs, across the foyer floor and out the door. Exterior porch. Kevin shoots out of the door, jumps the porch, and crashes in the yard. Kevin rolls over, dazed and sore. He's taken a big hit. He sits up and rubs his roasted ass. He glances around slowly. The sun is setting. A florid yellow, purple, and black winter sunset. Kevin looks up. The bare trees move in the breeze. Kevin is getting nervous. Looks across the street to old man Marley's house. Marley is scraping his front walk with a snow shovel. Kevin freaks. Exterior house dusk wide. The streetlights go on. Kevin jumps up and runs into the house. He slams the door. Interior 747, first class, night. Kate's calmed down a fraction. Frank and Leslie are doing their best to console both Kate and Peter.
We'll call as soon as we land. I'm sure everything's okay.
Kate isn't interested in Leslie's consolations. Frank leans across.
If it makes you feel any better, I forgot my reading glasses.
Exterior street night later. The street lamps are fading on. Harry and Marv's van is parked at the far end of the street. Interior van. Harry and Marv sit inside surveying the street. Harry glances from his wristwatch to the various houses.
Check it out. All the houses with nobody home have automatic timers on their lights. I got it all figured out. So, number 1128 should go on right about now.
Outside, the white Christmas house lights of address 1128 turn on. Harry points to another house while glancing to his watch.
Number 1135 now.
Outside, the Mcallister house lights flash on. Harry smiles.
And that's the one, Marv. That's the silver tuna.
Terry G.
Oh, it's loaded. Lots of top flight goods, antiques, collectibles, objects d'art. You know, lots of kids, means lots of stereos, VCRs, TVs, looking at probably some nice jewelry, possibly a cash hoard with the odd marketable security. Who knows? It's a gem.
Probably need a night and day in there and clean it out.
Grab the crowbar.
Exterior house later. The house is dark. Interior Mcallister family room night. Kevin is asleep. The house is silent, dark, save for the exterior Christmas lights, which throw strange, elongated shadows along the walls. The outside wind is strong, howling. Kevin wakes. The house boards creak. Kevin's eyes are wide, afraid. He hears a sound, his name, echoing in a scratchy, eerie whisper. Kevin, Kevin, Kevin. He slowly turns to the sound. It's only a branch scratching against the window. Kevin takes a breath, gathers his courage, attempting to calm himself.
Okay, just relax. Stay calm. Just like Dad always says. Don't let your fears get the best of you. It's all in your imagination.
Suddenly, Kevin hears more voices, singing, an a cappella devilish version of Silent Night. Kevin turns. The Nutcrackers are singing, their mouths flapping wildly. Kevin screams and runs out of the room. Interior foyer. Kevin skids to a stop. A long shadow of a man in a hat is on the wall. The shadow transforms into a Night on Bald Mountain demon. Kevin jumps back, cries out, and runs out of the room. Camera whips to the source of the shadow. It's only a hat and coat, hanging from the hall cloak rack. The shadow is back to normal. Interior dining room. Kevin dashes inside, face to face with the grandfather clock. The clock suddenly comes to life. Its face and body distorts for a moment, scaring the hell out of Kevin. Kevin screams and dashes out of the room. Interior kitchen. Kevin stops, catches his breath, gets a sudden chill.
Freezing. The furnace. The pilot light.
Interior basement. A low-angle wide shot from the bottom of the basement stairs. The top stair opens. Kevin stands here, looking down at the longest descent of his life. Close up on Kevin, pondering.
Like Dad always says, you gotta face your fears if you want to conquer them. If I don't face my fears now, I'll be a dreamsicle by tomorrow morning.
Kevin takes a deep breath. He slowly takes a step into the basement. The stair creaks. Kevin gingerly walks down the stairs. The basement is dark, damp. He arrives at the bottom of the stairs. Kevin's foot hits something. He looks down. It's the mannequin head. Its blank features have been replaced by a face. The head is alive. It speaks to Kevin. Only a dummy would come into the basement. Mannequin head laughs, joined by more laughter. Kevin looks up. The other mannequins are laughing. Headless bodies slap their knees. Disembodied heads chuckle. Kevin closes his eyes.
It's not real.
Kevin slowly opens his eyes. The mannequins are calm, quiet. The head at his feet is faceless. Kevin turns. He looks at the enormous furnace ahead of him. Kevin slowly walks to the furnace. He gets to his knees and moves toward a mouth-like opening located near the bottom of the furnace. Kevin reaches for the lever that opens the furnace. He pulls the lever forward. A loud grinding sound is heard. The mouth opens. Kevin peers inside. From Kevin's POV, a red button. Tiny letters read pilot above the sign. A few mouse traps laced with cheese are scattered on the floor in front of the pilot light. A nervous Kevin slowly moves his arm into the opening. His trembling hands pass only inches above the mouse traps. Sound of several squealing mice fill Kevin's head, getting louder, louder. Kevin closes his eyes to stop the sound.
Stop.
Sound stop. Kevin continues to move his hand toward the pilot light button. He presses the button. The furnace erupts. Kevin jumps back and looks up. The furnace has come to life. Its mouth roars. Its dials become bulging eyes. Steam rushes from its cracked pipes. Kevin turns and runs up the stairs. Camera pans back to the furnace. It's calm, still, purring gently. Interior family room. Kevin wakes up with a scream.
Wow.
Exterior Charles de Gaulle International Airport morning. The 747 touches down. Exterior Mcallister house night. Harry and Marv's Ford van pulls in the driveway. Interior van. Harry shuts off the lights and turns off the engine. They exit the van. Interior family room. Kevin's sitting in the chair, breathing heavy, shaking off the dream. He looks at the TV. He scrambles to his feet and turns on the light. He turns on another. Exterior house, backyard. Harry and Marv walk down the cellar stairs. Interior basement. Harry and Marv peek in the dirty windows of the cellar door. Exterior house, cellar stairs. Harry positions his crowbar at the jamb. Behind them, we see light. Interior kitchen. Kevin's turned on the kitchen lights. He carefully opens the basement stairs and close up on the switch, he turns on the basement lights. Interior basement. Close up Harry and Marv. Through the glass, looks of shock. Interior kitchen. Kevin turns on the kitchen TV and the radio. Exterior house, cellar stairs. Harry and Marv hear the TV. They turn to see the light.
Shit.
He said they were gone.
They were supposed to leave this morning.
We got to get out of here.
They race across the backyard back to their van. Interior airport arrival area morning. Rob Mcallister, his wife Georgette, their 8-year-old son Keith, and 11-year-old son Stephen. Rob looks down at his kids.
Okay, kids, try the sign.
The kids grumble and unenthusiastically unfurl a long computer sign that reads, "Welcome to Paris. Merry Christmas." Rob is craning his neck to see over the crowd. He spots the Mcallisters.
There they are.
Rob puts his arm around Georgette and grins.
How excited they are to see us.
Rob's POV. Kate and Peter lead the horde from the arriving flight. They're running. Aunt Leslie, Uncle Frank, and the kids trail behind. Nothing is stopping Peter and Kate.
Pete, Kate.
Interior airport. Peter and Kate burst through the sign. Uncle Frank and Aunt Leslie follow. Then the kids, all running past. Rob, Georgette, and his family are completely stunned. Close up on the payphone area. In the foreground, the running throng approaches like a festive holiday marathon. Kate arrives and grabs the phone. She turns and shouts orders to the others.
All right, I'm going to try our house. Peter, you call the Bensons. If they were home, if they're home, they can run over and get Kev. Okay, kids, get some change. Start calling people you know. Leslie, Frank, take my address book. Call anybody who lives on our street. Maybe somebody will be home.
Interior Mcallister house, upstairs hallway, night. Close up on Kevin. Kevin's sitting on the top stair. He's terrified and breathing heavily. Interior airport phone area, day. Kate and Peter. Kate stands at the phone listening with distress. In the background, the kids huddle around another phone, trying various numbers. Aunt Leslie and Uncle Frank are on another telephone. Kate hangs up the phone, frustrated.
Phone's still out of order.
Kate hurriedly dials another number. Interior police station, night. A switchboard operator answers a call.
Oak Park Police Department. You want to report a missing child?
Interior airport, day/night. The following scene intercuts between the switchboard operator and Kate between day and night.
He's not missing.
Peter reacts instinctively to the strength of the word.
Missing?
He's at home. No, we left on an overseas flight and somehow we had 11 kids. Somehow we overlooked him.
The child is not missing.
Ma'am, I need someone to go to my house and see if my child is all right and tell him that.
Looks to Peter.
We're coming home for him.
That we're coming home for him.
Let me connect you with the family crisis intervention.
It's not a family crisis.
Hold on.
Kate curses silently and silently turns to Peter.
Go down to the ticket counter. Book a flight.
For all of us?
There's no sense taking the kids. You stay here with them. I'll go get Kevin and come back. You hold Christmas for us.
Peter nods. He gives a comforting smile and hurries off to the ticket counter. A voice interrupts Kate on the phone.
Hello?
Interior police station, office, night/day. A grumpy, prune-faced officer in a rumpled uniform sits behind a desk. His phone rings and he answers it.
Family Crisis Intervention, Sergeant Belzic.
Hi, look, I'm calling from Paris. I have a little boy who's home alone.
Has the child been involved in a violent altercation with a drunken or mentally ill family member?
No.
Has the child been involved in a household accident?
I don't think so.
Has the child swallowed poison or an object that has become lodged in his throat?
No, he's just home alone. I just want to send somebody over to the house. Just check on him.
You want someone to go over to your house and check on your son?
Yes!
Let me transfer you to the police department.
But they just transferred me to you.
Hold on.
Kate stops herself from smashing the receiver into the wall. The kids, Leslie and Frank, surround her. Kate gives a hopeful look.
Any luck?
The kids shake their heads. Kate turns to Frank and Leslie. They shake their heads.
Nothing but a bunch of answering machines.
Interior house, upstairs hallway, night. Kevin stands up. The sadness is gone. He's finding his courage. Interior French airport ticket counter, day. Peter is there. Kate walks into the scene. Peter turns to Kate. He's solemn.
Tonight's flights are all booked.
To Chicago?
To Chicago, New York, Detroit. I tried everything.
What about a private plane?
I checked nothing. I'm booking you on a flight that leaves Friday in the morning.
Friday morning? That's 2 days from now.
Kate gives a frustrated sigh. Peter tries to comfort her.
Look, honey, we've done all we can here. The kids are exhausted. Let's go to Rob's. We can call the police again from there.
No. I have a child at home alone. I'm not leaving here unless it's on an airplane.
Peter sighs, helpless. The ticket agent, a French woman with a light accent, having overheard the conversation, looks at Kate.
Ma'am, if you stay at the airport, maybe we can get you on standby. There's a very slim chance that a seat will open up. You may have to wait several hours, but it is the holiday season. Miracles can happen.
Kate nods. It's her only hope. Exterior Mcallister house, front door at night. The door swings open. Kevin marches out to the end of the driveway. Angry, he looks left and right and yells at the top of his little voice.
I'm not afraid anymore.
Mr. Marley steps out of the darkness, standing a few feet in front of Kevin. Marley is holding the snow shovel. He nods to Kevin. Kevin's eyes pop wide in fear. His face goes white. He screams, turns, and runs into the house. He slams the door. Marley turns to the curb and continues poking the handle at a clog in the gutter. Interior foyer, night. Kevin runs into the foyer, still screaming. He slams the door and runs up the stairs, screaming. Interior kitchen. Kevin runs down the back stairs, screaming. He stops at the foot of the stairs. He sees he's run back downstairs, turns and runs back up, screaming. Interior Kevin's bedroom. Kevin jumps into his bed and scrambles under the covers. Exterior Kevin's house. A police officer steps up to the porch and rings the bell. Interior Kevin's bedroom. Close up on Kevin. He peeks out from under the covers. He's shocked. Exterior front porch. The officer bangs on the door. Interior Kevin's bedroom. Close up on Kevin. His eyes are wide with terror. He pulls the covers over his head. Exterior house. The police officer steps back and looks up at the house. Looks okay to him. He returns to his car. Interior de Gaulle Airport, day. A soft, sweet voice croons, "I'll be home for Christmas" in French over the airport speakers. Peter and the kids say their goodbyes to Kate. With a final kiss, Peter and the kids join Rob and the rest of the family. They exit. Kate watches for a moment, saddened. She takes a seat alone in the crowded airport. Exterior Mcallister house the next morning, a dark gray day. Interior bathroom, day. He's taken a shower. His hair is wet and he has a towel wrapped around his waist. He's being very adult and very conscientious about his brushing.
I took a shower, washing every body part with actual soap, including all my major crevices, including between my toes and my belly button, which I never did before, but sort of enjoyed. I washed my hair with adult formula shampoo. I used cream rinse with the Just Wash in. I can't find my toothbrush, so I'll pick up one when I get out today. Other than that, I'm in really great shape. Oh, geez.
He opens a bottle of aftershave, splashes a quantity on his hands as his father does, and slaps it on his cheeks. He smiles at himself, then screams.
Ah! Yeah!
Exterior Mcallister house. We hear Kevin screaming from inside. Interior Buzz's room. Kevin pulls a chair over to a shelving unit attached to the wall. He stands on the chair and tries to reach the top of the unit in a tin baseball card box. Kevin reaches up, woefully short-armed. He tests the strength of the shelf with his foot. He begins to climb the shelf unit. He gingerly steps up on the next shelf, then the next. He makes it to the top. His little fingers barely touch the box. The box slides forward into his hand as the shelving unit pulls away from the wall. The shelf unit topples, throwing Kevin and everything on the shelves to the floor. Crash. The tin box hits the floor and splits open, spilling coins and crumpled bills. Kevin emerges stunned and shocked, but unharmed from the heap of rubbish that was once Buzz's shelves. Camera pans a few feet away. The tarantula is free from his shattered aquarium. It skates across the floor. Exterior house, back door later. Kevin comes out the door bundled in his coat, hat, and scarf. He leaves the door wide open, as he would if his mother were there to close it for him. He jumps down off the porch and heads around the corner of the house to the driveway. Exterior house, front yard. Kevin tiptoes around the corner of the house. He glances across the street to Marley's house, making sure that the coast is clear. It is. Kevin breathes a sigh of relief. He comes down the drive to the sidewalk and heads up the street. He glances to his left. His POV day. The van is parked far up the driveway of the Murphy house across the street. They're back. Kevin notes the van with curiosity. He whispers to himself.
I thought the Murphys went to Florida.
Kevin shrugs and exits frame, hurrying by Marley's house. Exterior Paris, night. The Christmas lights are shining bright. Traffic's moving. The city is charged with spirit and movement. Camera pulls back. This is the view from the window of interior Rob Mcallister's apartment night. Peter stands in the foreground on the telephone. Megan and Buzz are talking.
You aren't even worried, are you?
Why should I be?
He's home alone.
Good. He's acted like an asshole once too many times. This time he caught it in the butt.
He's so little and helpless. Don't you think he's flipped out?
He's probably going through a stage 10 brain fried down right now, but he asked for it.
You're really cruel.
We'll try to use a couple days in the real world.
You're not at all worried that something might happen to him?
No, for 3 reasons. A, I'm not that lucky. 2, we have smoke detectors. And D, we live on the most boring street in the United States of America, where nothing even remotely dangerous did ever or will ever happen. Period.
Interior Murphy's house, bedroom, day. Marv and Harry are sacking the house. Marv is dumping drawers. The phone rings. He freezes. An answering machine clicks on.
Hello, we're not home right now. If you'll leave your name and number and the time you called, we'll get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you.
Beep.
Chuck, this is Peter Mcallister again. We're in Paris at my brother's apartment. Let me give you the number here. The country code is...
As Peter recites the number, Marv recognizes something in Peter's message.
Harry? The house you were at last night? Was that the Mcallisters?
Yeah.
You're right. They're gone.
Interior drugstore, a day. Close up on the pharmacy clerk. Leaning into the camera, a woman in her mid-50s, a little too much makeup, a little too much hairspray. She's grinning.
How may I help you?
Drugstore. It's a small local drugstore. Drugs, toiletries, notions. Kevin's at the pharmacy counter. He sets a toothbrush on the counter.
Is toothbrush approved by the American Dental Association?
On the door, close-up of feet. The door opens and a pair of worn galoshes shuffle in. From the pharmacy counter, the clerk is wearing half glasses, trying to read the printing on the toothbrush package.
Doesn't say, hun.
Close-up on the galoshes, shuffling down an aisle. Close-up on the clerk. She sets down the toothbrush and turns back to the counter.
Herb, I have a question about a toothbrush.
Close-up on Kevin. He awaits his answer. He reaches into his pocket and takes out a $20 bill. Behind him, a figure approaches. Close-up on the counter. Kevin fiddles with the toothbrush. He turns it over. Suddenly, a bloodied hand slaps down the counter. Close-up on Kevin. His eyes open wide in fear as he looks at the hand. His POV, close-up on the hand. Camera follows the hand up to a tattered overcoat sleeve, to close-up of Marley. He's looking down at Kevin, a horror sting. Close-up on Kevin, terror. He backs away from the counter. Close up on the clerk, she turns back to the counter. From her POV, Marley's at the counter looking back at Kevin as he moves away from the counter. The toothbrush is still in his hand. Close up on the clerk, she calls to Kevin.
Hun, you have to pay for that here.
Close up on Kevin, he doesn't hear her. He pays her no mind. He doesn't think that he has the toothbrush in his hand. He's only interested in getting out. His POV as he moves away, the clerk is calling to him. Marley's watching him.
Son, come back. Hey!
On the store, wider shot as Kevin keeps moving, not taking his eyes off Marley. Close up on the clerk, she yells.
Stop that boy!
Close up on the stock boy, he looks up from the shelf he's stocking. Close up on Kevin, he's overwhelmed by panic. He turns and bursts out of the store. Exterior town square. Kevin speeds out of the drugstore, across the street, past Santa's village. The stock boy breaks out of the store and charges after Kevin, who runs across the street, past Santa's village. A police car is parked a few feet away. The stock boy sees the cop, grins, puts his fingers to his mouth and whistles, waving to the cop. The police car stops. The cop rolls down his window and looks to the stock boy.
Shoplifter!
People within earshot turn at the stock boy's cry. All eyes are upon Kevin, accusing, angry. A frightened Kevin sprints, pumping his legs as hard and fast as they'll go. The cop begins to follow Kevin, chasing the scared little boy through the town square. Kevin runs onto the ice skating rink. He hits the ice, sprinting. Kevin crouches down and glides across the ice, barely avoiding a collision with several skaters. We see Kevin's moving POV as ice skaters leap out of his path. Exterior town square. The cop attempts to make his way across the ice rink, stumbling. He takes a few steps and flips backward, falling on his ass. Kevin emerges on the opposite side of the rink. He escapes across a bridge leading into the suburbs. He glances back. Kevin's POV. The cop is being helped to his feet by two skaters. Kevin turns and continues running, disappearing into the suburbs. Interior drugstore pharmacy counter day. Marley is paying for a purchase. Insert a Band-Aid box. Exterior neighborhood street later. Kevin shuffles down the street, tired, cold, and frightened. He looks at the toothbrush in its hand.
I'm a criminal.
Interior Murphy house across the street, living room. It's been sacked, thoroughly searched and plundered. Cabinets are smashed and overturned, tables upended, the drapes are drawn. Marv comes down from upstairs with a heavy cotton sack in one hand and a VCR in the other. He exits towards the back of the house. As he passes through the kitchen, Marv stuffs a dish towel in the sink drain. He turns on the water and grins sadistically. Exterior house. Harry's in the van. The motor's running. Marv comes out, looks to the street, and quickly deposits his loot in the van. Interior van. A huge haul from the house sits in the back of the van. The door slides shut. A grinning Marv gets inside. Harry glares at him.
You did it again, didn't you? You left the water running.
Marv continues to smile deviously, saying nothing.
I told you to stop doing that. There's no reason for it.
Harry, it's our calling card. All the great ones leave their mark. We're the Wet Bandits.
Harry stares incredulously at Marv for a moment, then puts the van in reverse.
You're a sick bastard.
Exterior house driveway. The van backs out. Kevin continues to walk down the street. Exterior house. The van comes down the drive. Kevin is in line for a collision. Harry glances into the van's side mirror. Kevin is visible in the mirror walking across the drive. Seeing this, Harry reacts with surprise and jams the brakes on him. The van's tire locks and skids on the slick pavement. Kevin looks up and around in shock as the van slides in front of him, missing him by inches. From Kevin's POV, the van slides to a stop on Harry's face. Harry's POV, Kevin's frightened little face, nose nearly touching glass. Harry feigns a look of false concern. He doesn't recognize Kevin. He rolls down his window.
Keep an eye out for traffic, son.
Marv leans around Harry and adds his less skillful 2 cents.
Danny, don't visit the funeral homes, little buddy.
Step back.
Kevin takes a step back away from the van. Harry smiles and winks, revealing his gold tooth.
Merry Christmas.
Kevin recognizes Harry as the police officer who was at his house the night before. Kevin's jaw drops. The van pulls out of the driveway. Kevin watches it. He starts to run across the street. The van stops. Inside the van, Harry looks back out the window.
What's the matter?
I don't know. I don't like the way that kid looked at me.
You ever seen him?
I've seen 100 kids this week.
See what house he's going to.
Close up on Kevin. Kevin reaches the parkway where he realizes that the van has stopped. He slows and peeks over his shoulder.
You're not afraid.
Kevin's POV, the van waiting in the middle of the street. Close up on Kevin. Kevin wants to cry. He's so scared. He stops when he reaches the sidewalk. He looks at his house, makes a quick decision, turns and heads down the street, passing the house. Interior van. Harry watches the mirror. Exterior street. Kevin is walking down the street. The van is tailing him. Kevin hurriedly begins to sprint. He turns and disappears around the corner. The van follows. Inside the van, as Harry and Marv turn the corner, a blank, puzzled look covers Harry's face. Harry and Marv's POV. The street. Bare. No sign of Kevin. He's disappeared. Inside the van, Harry and Marv squint, baffled.
Shit! Where'd he go?
Exterior street, church, dusk. Harry and Marv's van pass the church. A life-size nativity scene decorates the church's front lawn. Figures of Joseph, Mary, Jesus, the wise men, and various animals are here. There's also a very realistic little drummer boy standing over the manger, head lowered. Exterior van, moving shot, Marv, staring out the window at the nativity scene, then looking away. Exterior nativity scene. Camera dollies towards the little drummer boy. He slightly raises his head. It's Kevin, dressed in the statue's robes and holding the drum. Kevin watches Harry and Marv's van turn and disappear around the corner. Inside the van, Harry is still baffled.
He just disappeared like that.
Why don't you just forget it? Huh? Like, should be afraid following a kid, man. Like, that's like sending invitations to the cops.
I don't like the way that kid looked at me.
We're just getting an edge on. You're just getting an edge on. We're doing good now. Come on, it's getting dark. Let's drop this stuff off, get a bite to eat, and come back for more holiday surprises.
Harry grins. Marv laughs. Harry hits the gas. Exterior nativity scene. Kevin hurriedly removes the little drummer boy costume. He hurries away from the church. He glances up. The street lamps are turning on. It's getting dark. Exterior street, night. Kevin runs as fast as he can. All up and down the block. The church bells strike a fifth time, calling it 5 o'clock. The timers in the houses of the people away for the holidays turn on the Christmas lights. Kevin arrives at his driveway. Interior house, night. Kevin runs in and turns on the foyer light, locks the front door, secures the chain and the deadbolt. He collects himself.
This is my house, and I have to defend it.
He runs up the stairs. All right. Exterior house, later that night. All of the upstairs and downstairs lights are on. A beat and the attic lights go on. Brenda Lee's Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree fills the soundtrack as a montage begins. The Brenda Lee song plays over the following images. Kevin arranging the living room chairs to face toward the windows. A piano songbook being flipped to Joy of the World. The sports hero poster being peeled from Buzz's wall. An electric train being removed from the closet. A laugh box being removed from Jeff's drawer. One of the nutcrackers with a rifle being snatched from the piano top. Kevin carrying mannequins up from the basement and carrying stereo speakers from the family room to the kitchen. End of montage. Exterior house, later that night. A little Nero's pizza delivery car pulls into the driveway. The delivery boy, who we remember from earlier, walks to the porch. A note attached to the front door. It's written in child's hand. It reads, "Back door, please." The pizza boy reads the note and shrugs. The back door is no problem for him. He hops down off the porch and walks around to the back door. Interior family room. Kevin is listening to the Brenda Lee song. The doorbell rings. Kevin jumps up, turns off the CD player, and sneaks into the kitchen. Exterior porch. The pizza boy tries to look in the window. The kitchen door curtains are closed. He knocks. A voice comes from inside.
Who is it?
Little Nero's Pizza, sir. I have your pizza.
Close up on the television. The mobster movie fast forwards, stops, and the mobster says,
"Leave it on the doorstep and get the hell out of here."
The picture freezes. Mute comes on and it steps to the next cut. Exterior porch. The pizza boy is startled by the angry tone of the man's voice.
Okay, but what about the money?
Interior kitchen. Kevin holds the remote towards the combination TV VCR. The speakers are hooked up to the television. Kevin unpauses the video picture.
What money?
Kevin hits pause, mute, and stop.
You have to pay for the pizza, sir.
Close-up television. The picture unfreezes.
That a fact? How much do I owe you?
Exterior porch. The pizza boy looks at the ticket.
$11.80, sir.
Interior kitchen. Kevin counts out $12 of Buzz's money. It's difficult for him. He lifts the doggy door and flips the money out. Exterior porch. The pizza boy reaches down for the money and is disappointed to see that it's only $12.
Keep the change, you filthy animal.
Cheapskate.
Interior kitchen. Kevin flips on a desk lamp that rests behind the Nutcracker, which is positioned on the counter in front of the door. The Nutcracker's rifle is extended. The light casts a large shadow of the Nutcracker on the kitchen curtains. Kevin hits the video play button.
I'm going to give you to the count of 10 to get your ugly, yellow, no good ass off my property.
Exterior porch. The pizza boy stares fearfully at the shadow of the Nutcracker, which resembles a gangster holding a gun.
1, 2, 10.
Exterior kitchen. Kevin drops a row of lit firecrackers into the metal kitchen garbage can. They explode, creating a loud gunfire sound. Exterior back porch. Hearing the gunfire, the pizza boy picks himself up and scrambles to his car. Close up on the pizza car, the rear tires as they spin and the car zips out of frame. Interior kitchen. Kevin cautiously opens the door and retrieves his pizza. He comes back in grinning.
A lovely pizza just for me.
Interior French airport. Night. Kate has snared a middle-aged woman and is trying to talk her out of her seat assignment.
I have $500, a pocket translator, a first class. That's an upgrade from your coach seat.
Is that a real Rolex?
Do you think it is?
No.
But who can tell? Oh, and I have a ring.
He displays a modest sapphire ring.
It is lovely.
A middle-aged man joins them.
Come on, Irene, they're boarding.
This gal's offered us 2 first-class seats back to Chicago next week, plus a ring, a watch, a pocket translator, $500, and
the Samsonite luggage.
What do we do about our Christmas plans?
You forgot the bracelet.
I didn't care for the bracelet.
Kate holds out her wrist.
I don't like it either. Thanks anyway.
You like the necklace, ma'am?
She's got a necklace. Let's go.
My little boy is home all by himself. I'm desperate. I beg you. From a mother to a mother, please.
Ed?
Hearing aid went out. Damn. Come on, honey. Hello? Hello?
He takes her arm and leads her away.
Say what?
He sneaked to look back at Kate. Close up on Kate. She's crushed. Boarding passengers jostle her as they head for the ramp. Exterior neighborhood, night. Harry and Marv's van slowly pulls up to the front of the Mcallister house. Inside the van, Harry and Marv look out. They exchange puzzled glances and look again to the house. From their POV, we see the lights are all on. 2 chairs are turned toward the window. We can see the back of a man's head and the back of a woman's head. They're both wearing hats and jerking slightly back and forth. Laughter and music is heard. Interior van, Marv is completely baffled. He shifts his eyes slightly to the dining room window. Exterior house, a shirtless sports hero bobs past the dining room window. Interior van, Harry looks around Marv. They're both confused.
Did they come home?
From Paris?
They shrug and continue to watch. Interior house dining room. Close up on the electric train. The train is set up on a winding track that is spread across the dining room. Camera follows the train. Camera rises and widens to reveal a straightened coat hanger taped to the train cars. The life-size sports hero cut out from Buzz's room is taped from the back to the hanger, which runs up the spine. A piano plays Joy to the World. Interior living room, close up on the piano keys. Kevin's uncertain fingers play with the keys. He tries to concentrate on the sheet music. Each time there's a break in the music, Kevin reaches over and touches the laugh box, causing the laughter to begin. Camera moves down from the keys to Kevin's foot. A pair of taut strings are tied to his ankle. He's wiggling his foot to the music. Camera turns away to reveal, sitting in the chairs at the window, the mannequins from the basement. They're dressed in Kate and Peter's clothes. String is tied around their waists. The wiggling of Kevin's foot rocks the mannequins in time to the music. Interior van. Confused and worried, Harry and Marv continue to watch the activity. Marv turns to Harry.
Somebody's in there.
Yeah. Come on, let's get out of here before someone sees us. Come back again tomorrow. Maybe they'll be gone by then.
Exterior house. The van pulls away. Camera pans to the dining room window. Kevin's head peers up over the windowsill. Seeing the van pull out of the driveway, Kevin smiles to himself. Interior master bedroom later that night. Kevin finishes flossing his teeth, shuts off the bathroom light, turns on the TV, crosses to the bed, and gets in. Johnny Carson.
Here's Johnny.
Exterior Paris, night. A cold sun is a moment away from rising. Interior Rob Mcallister's apartment, guest room, night. Peter is in bed. He's not sleeping. He's staring out the window. Close up on Megan. She's in bed with Lenny. She's not sleeping. Camera slides over to Lenny. She's not sleeping either. Close up on Jeff. He's in bed with Fuller. Jeff can't sleep either. Close up on Buzz. He's snoring like a bear. Interior master bedroom later. Kevin watches TV for a moment before the lonely thoughts creep into his head. He turns to the nightstand. He picks up a family portrait in a silver frame. Kevin pushes out his lower lip to keep from crying as he looks at the photo.
I didn't mean it. If you come back, I'll never be a pain in the butt again, I promise.
He searches for and finds his strength. He addresses the photo.
Good night.
Kevin looks around the room, an instinctive reaction to what will be an embarrassing act. He kisses the picture and puts it back on the nightstand. He turns off the light. Close up on the television. Johnny Carson is reading kids' letters to Santa Claus. Interior de Gaulle Airport, dawn. Kate is sleeping on the seats. She's curled up with her purse for a pillow. A PA announcement wakes her.
This is the final call for boarding American Airlines Flight 561 to Boston, connecting to Detroit. Standby passenger Mcallister, please come to the ticket counter.
Kate sits up. She grabs her purse and her overnight bag. She takes off. Interior grocery store, next day. Kevin is pushing a grocery cart. He's wearing a hat that's pulled down over his eyes. The collar on his coat is turned up. He stops at the dairy section and picks up a carton of milk. Interior store, bread aisle. Kevin comes down the aisle. He selects a loaf of bread. A woman shopper comes up behind him.
Pushing the cart for mommy?
Yes, ma'am.
What a good little helper you are. I'll bet you'll be getting lots of swell things from Santa tomorrow morning, huh?
You never know.
The woman smiles as she passes him.
Excuse me, what's the stuff you put in the washing machine to make clothes feel as fluffy soft as a kitten and smell as fresh as a springtime breeze?
The woman is puzzled by the request.
It's for mommy.
Fabric softener. 2 aisles over.
Thank you. And have a most merry, merry, merry Christmas.
He turns his cart around and heads up the aisle. Interior store checkout counter. A college-age checkout girl begins ringing up Kevin's purchases. He smiles at her. She looks at him curiously. He picks up a Woman's Day and leaves through it. She rings up the milk, fabric softener, bread, soup, and a microwave dinner.
Are those any good?
I don't know.
I'll give them a whirl.
He goes back to the magazine. The girl rings up a jar of jelly, a bottle of Tide liquid, a 4-pack of toilet paper. Kevin turns away a little as she rings up the teepee.
I wish I could use the stove. I'd make some of these macafers.
He shows her the magazine.
They look good, don't they?
He smiles. The girl nods. She can't figure him out. She rings up a large package of plastic army men.
For the kids.
The girl picks up the final item, a quart carton of orange juice.
Oh, hold on.
He hands her a coupon.
It was in the paper this morning.
She rings up the orange juice, less the coupon savings.
$19.83.
Okay.
Kevin reaches into his jacket and takes out Buzz's 20. Exterior alley, day. Kevin walks down the alley with his groceries. The bags are soft from wear and pose a terrible threat to break open. A dozen steps and the bottoms burst on both bags and the groceries tumble to the ground. Kevin sighs and begins picking up the groceries. Interior Mcallister house basement later that day. Kevin is doing laundry. The laundry cycle is over. He removes Kate's dress. He examines it. The stain is gone. Kevin smiles to himself. He places the dress on top of a laundry basket already loaded with clothes. He lifts the basket and heads up the stairs. Exterior house van, day. The Ford van is parked deep in the driveway of the house next to the Mcallisters. Interior van. Harry and Marv are studying the back of the Mcallister house.
Can't figure it out. Right now, it doesn't seem like anybody's home. But last night, this place is jumping. Something ain't right.
Close up on Harry and Marv. Looking out of the van, Harry opens the door.
What are you doing?
I'm not convinced.
Exterior backyards. Harry crosses the neighbor's yard to the Mcallister's yard. Interior kitchen. Kevin's doing dishes. He glances out the window. He freezes. His POV. Harry sneaks across the yards. Close up on Kevin. A flash of fear. He's too prepared to let it cripple him. He pulls the kitchen curtains closed and jumps down from the chair he's standing on. Interior family room. Kevin races into the family room and slams on the VCR. He grabs the remote and dashes into the kitchen. Exterior house, back porch. Harry walks up the steps and tries to peek in the drapes. He steps back and pushes the doggy door with his foot. Interior kitchen. Kevin nervously watches the door. His POV. The doggy door flaps as Harry kicks it. The doorknob rattles. Close up on Kevin. He hits the remote. The movie starts.
All right, Johnny. What about my money? What money?
Exterior house, back porch. Harry's completely mystified as to who could be in the house.
He's upstairs, taking a bath. We'll call you when he gets out.
Harry steps away from the door, jumps off the porch, and runs back to the van. Interior van. Harry jumps into the van and slams the door.
What happened?
I'm going nuts. Now there's 2 guys in the house and another guy's upstairs taking a bath.
Interior 747, night, on Kate. She's sleeping on the plane. Interior Paris apartment, living room, night. Peter's sitting alone in the living room, looking at the lights, thinking. Lenny comes into the room. She's in her pajamas. She can't sleep.
Dad?
Close up on Peter. He turns to her.
What are you doing up, sweetheart?
Close up on Lenny. She's troubled.
Where's Mom?
Wider as Peter waves her over to him.
She stayed at the airport. She's just got on a flight for Detroit.
Lenny sits down next to Peter.
She won't be here for Christmas. Kevin won't be here for Christmas. It won't even be like Christmas.
We're just going to delay it a little bit.
I think it's a bad idea.
We don't have much of a choice, sweetheart.
Families shouldn't be apart on Christmas. No matter how mean they are to each other the rest of the year. Us here, them there. It's stupid, Daddy. Christmas isn't about Paris.
Close up on Peter. There's a lot of truth in what Lenny is saying. He looks away and nods as he comes to a realization. Exterior driveway, van, day. The van's still parked in the drive. Interior van. Harry and Marv are sleeping, snoring bark strippers. Exterior Mcallister house, back porch. Kevin comes outside. He slams the door. Interior van. Close up on Harry. One eye opens. He sits up, realizing he's fallen asleep during his shift. He looks out the window. Exterior Mcallister house, Marv's POV, back porch. Kevin walks down off the porch with a saw and disappears into the backyard. Interior van. Harry smacks Marv. He wakes with a start.
What?
I got a bad feeling we're getting scammed by a kindergartner.
Huh?
Exterior house, backyard. Kevin saws the top off a 6-foot fir tree behind the garage. Interior living room later. Kevin has put the little tree into the tree stand. He's found lights and ornaments and is decorating the tree. Exterior house, backyard. Marv is on the back porch trying to look in the doggy door. Harry's on the other corner. He peeks in a window. Interior living room, close up on Kevin. Through the tree, he hangs a round red glass ornament blocking his face. A beat, and he gently pushes the ornament aside and looks ahead fearfully. From Kevin's POV, past the ornament, through the tree to the window, and Harry's face peering in. The ornament slowly returns to its original position. We see Kevin reflected in its surface. Close up Kevin. Kevin yells at the top of his voice.
Dad, can you come here and help me?
Exterior house, backyard. Marv has joined Harry. Harry smiles.
The kid we saw the other day. He lives here.
Kid's there. Parents gotta be.
Nah, he's home alone.
Marv grins. Interior house, Buzz's room. Kevin runs in, grabs Buzz's BB gun off the rack above his bed, whips open his nightstand drawer, and grabs a box of BBs. He dashes out. Exterior house, closest window to the backyard. Kevin appears in the window with a BB gun. Kevin opens it and looks out. From Kevin's POV, next door, Harry and Marv walk towards their van. They're talking. Kevin listens. Marv is incredulous.
You can't be serious. You want to come back tonight?
Mm-hmm.
Even with the kid there?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's a very good idea.
Look, that house is the only reason we started working this block in the first place. Ever since I laid eyes on that house, I wanted it. That house is the difference between us having a good or a bad Christmas. And Marv, I ain't had a good Christmas since 1962.
That long?
That long.
Gee, Harry, I don't want to spoil Christmas for you.
Good. Now, let's take this one step at a time. We'll unload the van, take a shower, get a bite to eat, and come back tonight when it's dark, say around 9 o'clock.
Yeah. Kids are scared of the dark.
You're scared of the dark too, Marv. Shut up.
Kevin listens
Not.
intently. Harry and Marv get inside the van. The van backs out of the driveway. Back to the scene. Kevin's face is filled with concern, turning to worry and fear. He whispers to himself in a voice filled with fear.
Mom, where are you?
Interior Detroit Metropolitan Airport, day. A heavy snow falls outside. A desperate, tired, and worn Kate pleads with the ticket agent.
Everything's full.
It's Christmas Eve.
What about another airline?
There's nothing available. I suggest you get a hotel room in the city. Tomorrow afternoon, we can get you a flight to Chicago.
I can't wait that long.
I'm terribly sorry, ma'am. There's nothing else I can do. It's hopeless.
Hopeless? Hopeless? Lady, I have been awake for almost 60 hours. I've traveled from Chicago to Paris to New Jersey just to get home to my 8-year-old son. And now I'm this close. You're telling me it's hopeless? No way. It's Christmas, the season of goodness and perpetual hope. And I don't care if I have to hijack a pilot at gunpoint, if I have to fly through a 300-mile wall of solid snow, if it costs me everything I own, or if I have to sell my soul to the devil himself, I'm going to get home to my son.
The ticket agent just stares at Kate, as does everyone in the terminal. Suddenly, a hand appears on Kate's shoulder.
Maybe I can help.
Kate turns. A curly-haired man in his late 30s, Gus Polinsky, stands beside her. Gus is dressed in his traveling clothes. A sky blue Banlin shirt, Sansa belt slacks, plastic loafers, and a red satin jacket with the words Gus Polinsky and the Kenosha Kickers emblazoned across the back. He's holding an accordion case. Gus extends his hand.
Gus Polinsky, Poker King of the Midwest. That's my band over there. Kenosha Kickers.
Gus points to a row of men seated a few feet away, dressed in pastel Banlin shirts and polyester slacks, wearing red satin jackets and holding their packed musical instruments. Gus continues to speak with Kate.
You a poker fan?
A little.
Ever heard of I Don't Want Her, You Could Take Her, and She Can Stop It, Kabasa Poker?
Sounds familiar.
That's us. So 658 copies. In Sheboygan alone is a record for a poker band.
Congratulations.
Yeah, we were playing Holly and Hope Pop's party at Asbury Park, DFW last night. We got a Christmas gig lined up tomorrow at the Milwaukee JC's, but they canceled our flight. So I sent Stash, my clarinet player, to Avis. He's gonna rent out his truck. We're gonna brave this treacherous weather and drive to Wisconsin. Since Chinatown's on the way, I figured you might like to hop a ride with us.
Kate's eyes light. A polka version of Have a Holly Jolly Christmas fills the soundtrack. We cut to exterior Detroit Expressway day. Heavy snow continues to fall. A bright yellow Astro van barrels along the icy snow-covered highway. Interior Astro van. Stash, a curly-haired fellow, drives. Camera pans to the back of the van. Gus and his band sit here playing their instruments and singing along. Gus leads the vocals and plays accordion. Kate sits amongst the polka-teers, a forced smile on her face. Exterior department store desk, a small department store in town.
I'd rather stand if that's okay. I'm a little too old to sit on your lap.
Interior department store. Kevin is standing at the knee of the store Santa.
Whatever you want to tell Santa, what do you want for Christmas? And let me add that we're close to it, and Santa has a little party you'll go to.
Sure, I understand. Okay, I know you're not the real Santa Claus. And to be honest, I'm not real sure the real Santa Claus is real. But just in case he is, I'd like to tell you something. This year, from Kevin Mcallister, 1135 Rivard Boulevard. Do you need the phone number?
Santa shakes his head. Now.
Okay. This is extremely important. Would you please tell him that instead of presents this year, I just want my family back?
Santa doesn't understand.
No toys, nothing but Peter, Kate, Buzz, Megan, Lenny, and Jeff, and my aunt and my cousins. And if he has time, my Uncle Frank. Okay?
I'll see what I can
do.
Thanks.
He starts to walk away.
You want a candy cane?
No, thanks. I don't want to spoil my appetite.
He pulls his hat down over his eyes and takes off. Close up on Santa, he's completely baffled. Exterior street, later that night. Kevin's walking home. It's dark. The streetlights are on. Kevin is walking slowly. He's looking at the houses. His POV moving, night. A house with lights around the door, lights burning in big windows, people inside celebrating, kids running around, grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins. It seems as if their excitement and joy was made in the extreme to emphasize Kevin's sorrow. Close up on Kevin, shuffling down the sidewalk, eyes on the house he's passing. He looks forward and stops suddenly. His POV, a young man and woman. She's carrying a baby. He's loaded with gifts, walking from their car, which is parked far down in a crowded driveway, to the sidewalk of the house Kevin's watching. Exterior house. The young family continues up the walk to the house. Kevin stands at the foot of the walk watching. Church bells ring in the distance. Close up on Kevin. Kevin's eyes are brimming with tears. As strong as he wants to be, it's too much for him. A tear falls. He wipes it away, only causing more to fall. Interior house. Kevin's framed in the door of the holiday house as the young family passes off the baby and the gifts and takes off their coats. Great warmth and cheer. Christmas music is playing. Children are running wild. Old men are laughing. Grannies are yakking. It's everything Kevin wants. He stands like a sobbing statue at the end of the walk, lit by a coach light, wiping tears from his cheeks with the backs of his cold, bare hands. The door closes on him. Exterior church. Night. A small, old frame church. We can hear the voices of a choir rehearsing for the midnight mass. Kevin approaches the church slowly, apprehensively. He looks up at the steeple, listens to the sweet voices inside mixing with the ringing bells. Kevin gathers his courage and walks in. Interior church. A couple of people sit in the first few rows, people involved with the program. An elderly woman and her husband sit several rows back. They're praying. Further back, we see the silhouette of a man sitting alone. Kevin enters. He peels off his hat and holds it tight to his belly. From his POV moving, we move into the light, spaciousness, and beauty of the old church. Back to the scene. Kevin looks up into the ceiling as he slowly makes his way down the aisle. He slips into a pew and sits. He unzips his jacket a little bit and looks to his left. The silhouetted man sits across the aisle from Kevin. The man leans forward out of the shadows into the light. It's Marley.
My great-granddaughter's up there singing.
Kevin is startled that he has relatives. Didn't he kill his family?
She's a very pretty little girl. You might know her.
I don't go to this church. I'm sure she's very nice and very pretty.
You live across the way from me.
Kevin nods.
You going to sing tonight?
No, sir.
I was baptized in this church.
Kevin looks up.
I got married in this church. The boys got married in this church. I said goodbye to my wife in this church.
Kevin looks down from the ceiling to Marley.
You got divorced in this church?
Choir night. They end their number and look to the back of the church as we hear the old man snort and chuckle. One very pretty 12-year-old girl turns away knowing that it's her grandfather. Back to the scene. Kevin smiles. Marley pats him on the knee and stops his laughter. He takes his hanky out and blows his nose with a loud honk.
I don't laugh too much anymore, but you got me.
He puts his hanky back.
What I meant was at the service for my wife, when she died, was here in this church.
Kevin feels terrible.
Won't be too long before they have my services here.
Shouldn't say that.
I'm an old man. I've had a lot of living. I like to be with my wife again.
Is that possible?
I believe it. Up in the kingdom, not here. Up there. This time for eternity. You been a good boy this year?
Kevin looks up at Marley. After a long beat, he shakes his head. No.
Fighting?
Kevin nods.
Back talking? Disrespecting?
Kevin nods again.
Telling fibs?
Kevin thinks.
You.
You ought to tell him.
Who?
Marley shoots his eyes up at the ceiling.
Him.
Can I bother him on Christmas?
He's open all year round, 24 hours a day.
Okay.
Listen, you're a good soul.
I'm not sure if I am anymore.
You are. Bad souls can't bring themselves to come in places like this.
Is that true?
It's true. You told him about the trouble you had with your folks.
Kevin's startled that Marley knows.
You know about that?
Just a guess. You get on your knee and you ask him to fix things for you and your folks. You may please and you say thank you for all the other things he's done for you. And then you go on home where you belong.
Kevin leans forward and kneels. He clasps his hands and bows his head. He closes his eyes and silently prays. Marley sits back and watches with a grin. Kevin finishes and sits back in the pew. He looks at Marley.
How long does it take usually, or how does it usually take for these things to work? Okay.
Marley holds out his hand.
Nice talking to you on this Christmas Eve.
Kevin shakes his hand. It feels good to him to touch another person. Kevin gets up and steps around Marley. He stops, turns back, and pats him on the shoulder.
Say hello to your wife for me when you see her.
I sure will. And I hope you get a big surprise when you get home.
Kevin smiles. He turns and walks up the aisle. Close up on Kevin. He thinks about what the old man said. He's forgotten all about the crooks. He stops cold. A look of panic comes over him. Exterior church. Kevin blasts out of the church and tears off down the street. A montage begins. Darlene Love's Christmas, Baby Please Come Home, or John Williams, fills the soundtrack, playing over the following images of Kevin preparing the house for the burglar's arrival. Kevin's hands draw out a battle plan on a large sheet of paper. He places micro machines on the floor, pours water on the front and back stairs, sets a pillow and electric fan on the dining room table, ties rope to the handle of a metal paint can, pushes roofing nails through an asphalt shingle, painting roofing tire on the basement stairs, removes the front door knob, plugging in the soldering iron and jamming it into the hole and attaching a rope from the third floor window to his treehouse. Montage ends. Close up on the Christmas tree. The lights go on. Exterior house. The picture-perfect Christmas card house. Warm, inviting, welcoming. Close up on the microwave. It goes off with a ding. Kevin opens it and takes out a turkey dinner. Interior kitchen. Kevin sits at the kitchen table. He's using a placemat, linen napkin, crystal glass, as if his mother had set the table for him. He bows his head over the microwave dinner and says grace.
Bless this highly nutritious microwavable turkey dinner and the people who sold it on sale. Amen.
Kevin puts his napkin in his lap. He's about to take a bite out of the dinner. There's a distant church bell chime. Kevin glances to the kitchen clock. It clicks to 9 p.m. Kevin jumps up from the table and shoves the dinner back into the microwave. He hurriedly cleans off the table. A second bell chimes. Exterior house. The van pulls into the driveway, all the way up to the garage and stops. Interior kitchen. Kevin's cleaning up the kitchen. He hears the van. He grabs his BB gun and runs to the lights.
This is it. Don't get scared now.
Kevin turns off the lights. Exterior house. Harry and Marv get out of the van. A fifth bell chimes. Harry has the crowbar.
How do you want to go in?
May as well knock and see if he'll open up. Who knows?
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah, he's a kid. Kids are stupid. I know I was.
You still are.
Yeah, but I was a lot worse.
A sixth bell chimes. Interior kitchen. Kevin is standing at the door, peeking out through the curtains. He backs away, a beat, and there's a sharp knock.
Merry Christmas, little fella. We know you're in there and that you're all alone.
Yeah, come on. Open up, kid. It's Santa Claus and his elf.
Seventh bell chimes. Exterior house, close up, doggy door. The barrel of the BB gun slowly sneaks out the doggy door and points up.
We ain't gonna hurt you.
We got some nice presents for you.
An eighth bell chimes. Close up Harry's crotch, seen down the barrel of the BB gun.
Be a good boy and open the door.
Close up on the trigger. Kevin's little finger squeezes the trigger. Exterior porch, a sharp pop and a twing, followed by the ninth church bell chiming. Harry howls. Grabs his groin. Marv drops to his knees and whips open the doggy door. Interior kitchen doggy door. Marv's curious and angry face appears, a beat and his eyes open wide in fear. Marv's POV, the muzzle of the BB gun. Pop! Exterior porch. Marv jumps back, clutching his forehead.
Oh, God!
Harry is off the porch, pinching his groin. Marv joins him.
Little bastards are!
Look, I'll go around the front way. You go to the basement.
Harry limps around the side of the house. Marv hangs back a moment, rubbing his forehead. Exterior, front porch. Harry hustles around the front of the house and jumps up on the porch. It's a sheet of ice. He hits it, falls to his ass, and slips into the bushes. Exterior, basement stairs. Marv starts down the stairs. Ice again. One step and Marv's legs go out from under him. Interior, basement door. Through the window, we see Marv fly down the ice stairs. He hits the basement door with a wham. The crowbar clangs. He pulls himself up. A beat, and he falls again. Exterior, front porch. Harry grabs a porch pillar and climbs back onto the porch. He straddles the pillar and the door as he tries to reach the knob. Exterior, basement stairwell. Marv jams the crowbar on the door and cracks it open. Exterior porch. Harry pushes off the pillar, slides towards the door, doesn't quite make it, starts to slide back, steps forward, and falls on his face. Interior basement. Marv steps into the basement. He feels for a light switch. It doesn't go on. He feels his way through the dark to a hanging bulb. Interior house, second floor hallway, laundry chute. A steam iron with a string attached to the handle is resting on the edge of the open chute. The string runs down the chute. Interior basement on Marv. He grabs the chain and yanks on it. The chain, socket, bulb, and cord come loose in his hand. He looks at it as off screen we hear the horrible clatter of the iron falling down the chute. Marv looks up. His POV into the chute. The iron falls into camera. Back to the scene as Marv catches the iron square in the face and hits the deck. Exterior house, front porch. Harry is back on the porch, clutching the pillar. He pushes himself away from the pillar using the crowbar. The doorknob is within easy reach now. Close up on the doorknob. It's glowing red with heat. Back to the scene. A big grin is on Harry's face. He reaches for the doorknob, grabs it, and shrieks. Interior foyer. Kevin shakes his fist victoriously. Exterior porch. He drops the crowbar and the knob. His extreme reaction takes him off his feet, and he lands square on his back and slides down the steps, yowling in agony. Harry thrusts his hand into a pile of dirty corn snow. Interior basement, close-up steps. One of Marv's shoes is stuck in the thick, drying roof tar. Camera moves up the stairs. One of Marv's socks is stuck in the next stair. Camera continues to move. Marv's other shoe is stuck in the next step. His other sock is stepping onto the top step. Camera pans up. Marv is stepping out of the sock in his bare feet. He has a triangular series of indentations peeking at his hairline caused by the perforated underside of the iron. There is murder in Marv's eyes as he steps onto the top landing. Close up on the landing as a shingle with protruding nails waits for Marv's approaching naked foot. Close up on Marv. He freezes for a moment, looks down, and then howls with pain. On the basement stairs as Marv lifts his foot and the shingle. To steady himself, he grabs the stair rail. It comes loose in his hand and he takes a backwards tumble down the stairs. Exterior house, back porch. Harry limps up the porch steps, clutching his burned hand. With some difficulty, he manages to jimmy the door with his crowbar, using only one hand. He sticks the crowbar under his arm and carefully opens the door. Interior kitchen. Harry enters slowly. As the door opens, the tension on the wire ignites the torch. Harry's naked head is scorched. He shrieks and jumps back out the door. It closes and the torch goes off. Exterior house, snowbank. Harry drives his flaming head into the snowbank. The fire is extinguished with a sizzle. Close up on Kevin's battle plan. Lit by flashlight, Kevin draws an X through a drawing of the torch door. Close up on Harry. He rises into frame. The hair on the top of Harry's head is burned away. His sideburns smoldering, blisters rising, eyebrows singed, eyes wild with rage and teeth gritted. Exterior house, back porch. Harry kicks open the door, snapping the torch wire. He marches into the house.
Where are you, you little bastard?
Interior basement. Marv stumbles to the door. Interior kitchen. Harry listens to the dining room door. It's closed.
It's too late for you, kid. We're in the house and we're coming for you.
Okay.
Grins. Interior dining room. A room fan is resting on the table, points at the dining room door. A pillow's worth of feathers is heaped in front of the fan. Close up on the fan. A pencil is stuck in the fan blades. The motor struggles against the pencil. A string runs from the pencil to the handle of the dining room door. Interior foyer at the top of the stairs. Kevin is sitting at the top of the stairs. He calls to Harry with complete confidence.
Come and get me.
Interior kitchen. Harry pulls open the dining door and rushes into the room. The pencil is pulled out of the fan. The fan blades turn. The feathers blow into the air. Harry storms into the room and straight into the glued saran wrap that spans the doorway. It sucks tight across his face. Harry roars with anger and peels off the wrap. Feathers immediately stick to his face. Interior kitchen. Marv steps gingerly up the porch stairs and into the kitchen in his bare feet.
What happened?
Interior foyer stairs. Kevin stands up. He's on full alert. They're both in the house.
You guys give up.
Close up on Harry. He turns to reveal his face full of feathers, his hair burned. Close up on Marv. He's just as much a wreck. He curls his lips in an angry snarl.
I'm gonna kill that kid!
Interior foyer. Harry and Marv charge into the foyer. Marv's walking on his heels to spare his punctured soles of his feet.
Why the hell did you take your shoes off?
Why the hell are you dressed like a chicken?
They hit the micro machines and hit the deck. Kevin, standing in the middle of the stairs, takes aim with his BB gun. Kevin pumps a succession of BBs at the crook before running up the stairs.
Come and get me.
Marv and Harry scramble to their feet, rubbing their stinging butts and backs. Marv dashes up the stairs. Harry follows. At the top of the stairs, Kevin holds a can of paint over his head. He lets it fly. The paint can arcs out. The rope tied to it pulls taut, and the can swings rapidly into the stairwell. Marv looks up as he runs up the stairs. His eyes widen in horror.
Hands up!
From Marv's POV, the paint can swings into camera. Marv ducks, revealing Harry's unsuspecting face. The paint can strikes Harry, square on the chin, knocking him off his feet, off the stairs, and into the foyer. Kevin hurls his second can. Marv looks back down at Harry.
I'll get it for you, Harry!
Marv turns and screams. Marv catches the second paint can. He's knocked off his feet. Harry is on his back in the foyer. He opens his eyes. From Harry's POV, Marv is sailing down on him, and it's a burglar sandwich. Interior hallway. Kevin scoots down the hallway on his hands and knees toward the master bedroom. In the foyer, Marv helps Harry to his feet.
It's only a kid, Harry. We can take him. Shut up. You're missing some teeth.
Harry shoves Marv away and heads up the stairs. In the master bedroom, Kevin is on the telephone.
Help, my house is being robbed. I live at 1132 Rivard. My name's Murphy.
Interior foyer stairs. Harry and Marv trudge up the stairs. They're cautious, keeping an alert eye on the railing above.
You bum me with another can, kid. I'm going to snap your cojones off and boil them in oil.
Interior hallway. Kevin crawls out of the master bedroom. In the upstairs hallway, Harry and Marv make the turn up the stairs and see Kevin.
There it is.
Kevin scampers down the hallway to the third floor stairs. With the little strength they have left, Harry and Marv take off down the hall after Kevin. Close up on the doorknob. A wire is tightly fastened around the knob. Camera pans along the wire. It's connected to another doorknob across the hall. Back to the scene. Harry charges down the hall. Suddenly he's off his feet, flipped forward with a twang. With the wire snapped, Marv keeps moving. He jumps over the fallen Harry and lunges for Kevin. Marv's hand grabs Kevin's ankle. Kevin holds onto the third floor doorknob with both hands. He screams. With his free leg, he repeatedly kicks Marv in the face.
Harry, get up! Get up!
Harry doesn't move. He's lying on the floor, his eyes open in horror. From Harry's POV, the tarantula runs into the camera. Harry stands up with the spider clinging to his face. Harry is screaming. He peels off the spider and throws it. Marv turns back to Harry. The spider lands on Marv's face. Marv lets go of Kevin's ankle. Kevin whips open the door and charges up the stairs. Marv flicks the spider off his face. In a panic, Marv grabs his crowbar, draws it back, draws a bead on the spider. Harry is shivering with revulsion. The spider climbs up on Harry's shoe. Severe up angle. Marv has lost his senses for the moment. He brings down the crowbar with all of his force. Harry screams as the crowbar slams down on its foot. Buzz's room, the tarantula scoots back inside the room. In the hallway, Marv drops the crowbar, realizing what he's done. Harry belts Marv in the face. Interior attic stairwell. Kevin stands at the top of the stairs. He looks down to the stairwell. From Kevin's POV, we see a steep drop. Harry, then Marv appear at the bottom of the stairs.
Now where are you going to go?
We were just going to kidnap you. Now we're going to kidnap you and feed you to the fishes.
Kevin yells down to Harry and Marv.
Go kiss a dog on the lips.
Kevin dashes off screen. Interior stairwell. Harry and Marv hobble up the stairs.
Can I shoot him?
Yeah, right after I strangle him.
Exterior attic window. Kevin climbs into the window. He fastens a large metal hook onto the rope. He secures his grip on the rope, tied through an eye on the handle. He looks down fearfully. Kevin's POV. It's 3 stories down to the cold, dark ground. Back to the scene. Kevin gulps back his nerves and swings out of the window. Exterior backyard. Kevin slides down the rope, picking up speed as he heads for his treehouse. Kevin's POV. Moving down the rope. Interior treehouse. Kevin sails down the rope into the treehouse. He puts up his legs to absorb the impact. Exterior treehouse. The backside. Kevin's legs burst through the weathered wood. Exterior treehouse. Kevin brushes himself off and shakes off the hurt. Interior attic bedroom. Harry and Marv enter. They are quick to see the open window.
Maybe he committed suicide.
Harry climbs up on the student desk beneath the window and looks out. Exterior attic window. Harry scans the yard. From his POV, Kevin waves to him from the treehouse.
Down here, you big horse's ass. Come and get me before I call the police.
Interior attic bedroom. Marv calls up to Harry.
Come on!
He starts for the stairs.
Exactly what that little shit wants us to do. Go back to his little fun house and get tore up more.
You gonna let him call the cops?
Harry pulls out his handkerchief and wraps it around his hand.
For a treehouse?
Out the window, Harry.
Oh, look, that's just what the kid's saying. Come on.
Exterior backyard. Harry swings out the window on the rope and begins hand walking down it. Marv joins him. Interior of the treehouse, Kevin. Kevin grins and brings up a large pair of hedge trimmers. Floats upon Harry. He stops cold, his eyes locked open.
Oh, no.
Kevin snips the rope. Harry and Marv crash into the side of the house. They slide down the house and fall to the ground, dazed, shaken. Kevin scampers down from the treehouse and runs to the van. He opens the door to the van, puts it in neutral, and runs down the driveway. The van rolls down the driveway and hits the curb. Kevin runs across the street to the Murphy house. Exterior Murphy house. Kevin arrives in the front yard. He stops, turns, and looks across the street to his house. Kevin's POV. Scratched and bruised, Harry and Marv stagger out from beneath the pile of broken icicles. Their eyes filled with murder, they see Kevin across the street. Kevin waves to the 2 crooks.
I'm calling the cops.
Harry and Marv take off after Kevin. Kevin races across the Murphy's lawn. Harry and Marv hobble across the street trying to catch up. Kevin rounds the front corner of the house and runs into the backyard. Exterior Murphy house backyard. Kevin whips around into the backyard, runs down the cellar steps and inside. Interior Murphy house basement. Kevin enters. He looks around the darkness, sees the stairs leading upstairs, and runs towards them. He sprints up the stairs. He pulls the door open. Close up on Kevin, he recoils in fear. From his POV, we see Harry and Marv standing in the door.
Hiya, pal.
Kevin steps down off the top stair. Stares Harry and Marv. Marv reaches for Kevin. He's tapped on the shoulder. He turns.
Huh?
From Marv's POV, a man is swinging a wide metal snow shovel towards his head. Before Marv can react, he's slammed in the face with a snow shovel. Marv collapses. Harry turns. Harry's POV, the snow shovel. Swinging into camera. Wham! The snow shovel connects with Harry. He falls to the floor beside Marv. Close up Kevin. He looks up. In his POV, Marley steps out of the shadows to reveal himself to Kevin.
Well, sure, can learn yourself thing.
Winks. Exterior Murphy house. Later that night, a pair of squad cars are pulled up in front of the Murphy house. Officers are coming in and going from the house. Interior squad car. Marv and Harry, handcuffed and looking half dead, drop into the back seat from either side. They sit exhausted, confused, defeated, injured, and humiliated. Exterior house squad car. Harry looks out the window. From Harry's POV, the shirtless sports hero is in the window of the Mcallister house, rocking back and forth. Kevin pops up beside the sports hero. Seeing Harry, Kevin grins. Harry curls his
Remember, we're the
lip
wet
in anger.
bandit.
Shut up, Marv.
Exterior street. The 2 squad cars drive off into the night. Interior Mcallister living room later that night. Kevin places the gifts under his tree. In the living room, Kevin sets a glass of milk and a plate of cookies and a plate of carrots. He adjusts the family stockings that he's taped to the mantle and looks around proudly. Exterior house, morning. A picture-perfect snowfall is in progress, having started over the night. Interior master bedroom. Kevin is at the end of his sleep. He stirs, suddenly sits up and listens carefully. The house is silent. He looks to the window. From Kevin's POV, the glass is frosty and the rooftops are white. Kevin smiles. He leaps out of bed and tears out of the room.
Mom?
Interior foyer. Kevin scrambles down the stairs, jumping the last few steps and skidding on the wooden floor. He shoots into the living room. Kevin grinds to a halt, his face glowing with the biggest smile of his life. Kevin's POV. No one's there. It's as he left it. Kevin's smile falls. He's crushed. His work, his prayers, his reformation, his courage, his independence is for nothing.
Damn it.
He stomps to the coffee table and picks up a crystal paperweight. He draws his arm back to heave it at the tree. He pauses, thinks better of it. He slowly returns the paperweight to the table. Interior foyer. Kevin walks slowly out of their living room into the foyer. He stops at the bottom of the stairs. Something occurs to him. He crosses to the door and opens it. Exterior house. Kevin in his pajamas. He sees nothing. He closes the door. A beat. The sound of polka music is heard. The van rolls in, filling the frame. Kate steps out of the van, waving goodbye, thanking and wishing a Merry Christmas to the musicians inside. She gives a quick kiss to Gus. The van drives off. Kate looks to the house. Interior foyer. Kate peeks in. She steps softly inside. She's concerned and cautious. She quietly closes the door behind her. She glances in the dining room, then the living room. She looks back to the stairs, thinks for a split second, and then turns quickly back to the living room. In the living room, Kate enters slowly. She's surprised and touched as she sees from her POV Kevin's tree, the gifts, then the stockings, then finally the cookies and the carrots. Kate's eyes are filled with tears. She puts her hand to her mouth to keep from crying. In the master bedroom, Kevin is sitting on the bed holding the family portrait. Close up on Kevin's tree, Kate plucks a little antique silver Christmas bell ornament off the tree and shakes it. Close up on Kevin. No tears, just defeat and sorrow. Off screen, we hear the tinkle of the bell. Kevin looks up, thinking he's hearing things. Another tinkle of the bells. Kevin puts the photograph down and covers his ears to see if the sound is in his head. It's not. He stands. In the upstairs hallway, the bell continues. Kevin pokes his head out of the bedroom door, walks to the railing, and looks over. He can't see anything, but he can hear the bell. He walks around the railing and down to the landing. Interior house foyer. Kevin appears at the top of the stairs. He looks down and doesn't see anything. The bell rings again. He comes down the stairs. A loose stair creaks. Close up on Kate. She knows now that he's home. She grabs the bell to silence it. Close up on Kevin. He comes down the stairs into the foyer and turns into the dining room. Close up on Kate. She's standing in the entrance to the living room, smiling through her tears. She rings the bell. From her POV, Kevin has his back to her. He straightens up and turns. From his POV, Kate rings the bell.
Merry Christmas, sweetheart.
Close up on Kevin. The sight of his mother is so overwhelming he doesn't even react. Close up on Kate. She thinks his hesitation is anger.
I'm sorry.
Close up on Kevin. He walks slowly to her, stopping in front of her. In the foyer, Kate kneels before him. She kisses his forehead. He suddenly throws his arms around her and squeezes for all he's worth. She grabs him tight to her. She breaks the embrace and kisses both his cheeks.
Where's everybody else?
I'm sorry, honey. They're all...
Interior foyer front door. It swings open and the haggard, bickering remainder of the family stumbles in. Buzz looks back to Megan.
I didn't fall asleep in the cab and drool all over you, did I?
I don't drool.
You guys please shut up.
Come on, you jerks. It's Christmas.
And it is Kate and Kevin.
Kev.
Kevin runs to his dad. Kate is
You're
dumbfounded to see
okay.
the entire family home. Peter gives Kevin a hug.
You're okay.
Buzz walks up to Kevin and grins.
Kev, it's pretty cool you didn't burn the place down.
Buzz holds out his hand and smiles warmly. Kevin slaps it. Kate gives an incredulous look to Peter.
How did you guys... I mean...
We decided to get on the morning flight back. Remember the one you didn't want to wait for?
Kate nods. If she wasn't so happy, she'd be frustrated. She kisses her husband and looks at everyone.
Who wants breakfast?
Who wants to get the presents out of the car, Jeff?
I haven't even said hello to my brother. Hi. You didn't miss anything. The TV shows are all in French.
I'll be the only decent person in the family and say that I really, really missed you and was worried about you. But you can't use that against me, okay?
Kevin nods. Megan turns to Lenny.
So you're saying I didn't miss him? I cried several times, and often it was for real.
Go get the presents.
Sorry. Somebody been awake for over 60 hours. I'm sorry. Somebody has to run out and find a store open. We don't even have milk.
Went shopping yesterday.
Everybody looks at him.
We have milk and eggs and fabric softener.
What else did you do while we were gone?
Close up on Kevin. He thinks for a moment.
Just hung around.
Everybody pauses. Kevin smiles and turns to close the front door. He looks across the street for a moment. From Kevin's POV, Marley stands at the curb of his house, being greeted by a family of 5. Emerging from a station wagon, Marley embraces his son. As Marley hugs his granddaughter, he opens his eyes and sees Kevin, watching him from the doorway of the Mcallister house. Kevin and Marley exchange a warm and knowing smile.
Kevin, what did you do to my room?
To his home. Fade to black, the end, but wait. Titles roll out, and close up on the TV, the gangster movie's showing.
Too bad AC ain't in charge no more.
What do you mean?
He's upstairs taking a bath. I'll call you when he gets out. I'll tell you what I'm gonna give you, Snakes. I'm gonna give you...
Interior of the lockup, Harry and Marv, day. They're in the day room watching TV with the rest of the offenders. They're dressed in blues. They look at each other. The end for real. Yay. Great job, everyone. Thank you to those who are watching. Happy early Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.